Hello everybody, Dr. Rick Wallace here, dropping in on you. And it's almost 6, just now leaving the office. It's been one of those days, been at it since 4 this morning. You do what you do, and I love what I do. It doesn't always go the way I want it to go, but that's life, right? Look, I'm sitting here and I'm riding and I'm headed home to do the things that I still have to do for the family and with my wife. And I consider all of that to be a blessing. But I'm sitting down today and I'm looking at how our people are moving, how our people are responding to media stimuli. And it brings to mind 2 people in particular. And I mean, there are so many others who have touched on this, so many of others who have brought light to this, and, you know, Tom Burrell and so many others. But it made me think of 2 people I hold in extremely high esteem, being what my profession is and my background, and that is Dr. Naeem Akbar and Dr. Amos Wilson. 2 brilliant minds, and they were able to give us a lens through which we could view our reality, but from a different perspective that came with a certain level of liberation. And when I watch what our people are doing and how easily we're manipulated, it takes me to something that Dr. Amos Wilson would talk about, and he would talk about the false idea of liberation, the false idea of being free. And Dr. Naeem Akbar would always talk about the enslavement of black people wasn't the conquering of their bodies, it was the manipulation and control of their minds. That one of his most famous works was breaking the psychological chains of slavery. And when I'm sitting there and I'm having these thoughts go through my mind, I look at what's going on, and something that comes to mind that Dr. Wilson said is that even when we move beyond the throes and we start moving into this individualized mindset that we've bought into, and in this individualized mindset we now have this live and let live mentality, that I want to do what I want to do, and in doing what I want to do how I want to do it, I'm free. I'm exercising my freedom. I'm exercising my liberation. Here's the problem with a mindset that is diametrically opposed and in opposition to the natural order of things, and how we as a people have always, at our height of existence, behaved. So here we go. So we're moving in ways. I want to do this. I don't want nobody telling me how to live my life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out and do this. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to live like this. I'm going to do all this. And what we don't realize is that all of those thoughts are not our own. Where are they? They are superimposed upon us via media, whether it be written media, whether it be radio, whether it be television, and now even social media. And so now the things we buy aren't things that we actually came up with an initial original idea to have. It was because the media told us it was the thing to have. So we're buying it because that makes us accepted. We're buying it because that makes people respect us. We're buying it because it gives us status. That's not our thought. That's a thought superimposed upon us by the way the society's construct is set up in giving high value to people with things. Also, it is also the manipulation of the media that tells you this is the good thing to have. Buy this. Do you realize why diamonds are so expensive? Normally, everything is controlled in price in general You learn this in economics, basic economics, all the way back in high school. Everything is controlled based off what? Real simple: supply and demand. If it's high in demand and high in supply, mid-range. If it's high in demand, low in supply, higher prices. If there's an abundance of it, it's going to be less expensive. There's no shortage of diamonds on this planet. Diamonds are in abundance. But what happened? Two things happened. They started to restrict the flow of the diamonds. They took control of the diamonds. They made the diamonds less accessible. Not less, they're not fewer diamonds, they're just less accessible. And then what did they do? They told you they were valuable. They told you that they were a woman's best friend. They told you a bunch of different things about diamonds that made you feel you got, and to the point now, I can go and I can do research on any social media platform where they're talking about marriage, and there will be a consistent conversation on how big the diamond was. Should you even accept a proposal if it isn't at least, what, how many calories, depending on who the person is and what they think. And that is not the primary element or component of what you should be looking to build with someone. You know, and the crazy thing is, the vast majority of them are talking about it have never had a 3-carat diamond ring in their life, but they're on there talking about it because it's the thing to talk about. And there are some women who have passed up on good men because the man didn't come with a large enough diamond. And where does it come from? It comes from the idea that diamonds are the way you tell a woman you love them. Not by covering her, not by protecting her, not by building with her, not by giving her the space and security she needs to thrive in her uniqueness and grandeur that comes with who she is as a black woman. But hey, here's a diamond. You know I love you. I spent 3 months pay on it. I got you this diamond. Will you marry me? And then you got women marrying guys that they may not even want to marry, but that diamond. I mean, so many different ways you manipulate it. So you're told the diamond is expensive. You're told that you're in a whole unique class if you can afford a luxury car over $60,000. You're respected, you're viewed, you're given shots that other guys aren't given solely by the car you're driving. Not by your character, not by your level of intellect, not by your creativity, not by all the things that actually have value that will actually allow you to do so much more than own that car with the right person, going in the right direction, doing the right thing. But that's where it's at. So all this thing and all this talk about being free and liberated, the liberated thinking, I'm gonna live my life this. If I want to do this, I'm gonna do this. I mean, from lifestyles and sexual lifestyles and orientations to whether you want to be married or not, all these different things aren't unique ideas. They aren't original ideas that you came up with and said, you know what, this is just how I'm gonna flow. It's actually been inculcated into your psyche. It's been done through subliminal messaging. It's been a part of a propaganda campaign that started probably before you were born. And it's been slowly seeping into your psyche. It's been slowly programming your subconscious. Your subconscious literally dictates and controls about 96% of your behavior. And so whatever is the programming for your subconscious would dictate your decision making, would dictate your behavior, would dictate how you move, what you expect, what you will accept, what you will not, all that subconscious. Your conscious mind only covers about 4% of your behavior. That's why willpower is very limited. Why? Because most of the stuff that we do, we don't do through consciousness, we do through subconsciousness. Look, I've just been on this video for 9 minutes. I've driven 9 minutes, and I can't tell you what lights I stopped at and what not, because I didn't drive in my subconscious then. That happens all the time. You get home and you can't remember if you stopped at the last stop sign or not. You more than likely did if you used to seeing that stop sign. Your subconscious takes over, and your subconscious does. That's the easy stuff for your subconscious. Getting you home in the car while you're having a conversation and doing whatever without really paying attention. You know how close to get to that person. Subconscious knows you're a little close. Put the brake on. Not your conscious mind, your subconscious. Your subconscious acts so much quicker than your conscious mind. And That's where your reflexes and all that stuff comes from conscious programming. Subconscious programming. So, in essence, if the programming that's hitting your subconscious is being controlled by the people with the power, and the people with the power aren't the people that look like you, aren't the people who have your best interests at heart, what are the chances that the decisions you're making based off of this programming are going to be decisions that are going to help you achieve what you're saying you look for? You have to sit up and ask yourself, 150 something years after the abolition of slavery, and yet the wealth gap is widened, and yet we have little to no political mobility and fluidity, yet things have worsened on the socioeconomic front. And you got to ask yourself, why? You can't have something happen at such a statistically significant level and not ask yourself how it happens. That's simply not how things are done. When there is something that is statistically significant, meaning that it is happening at a level that is beyond something that you can assess to coincidence, then you must explore causality. You must say, why is this happening at this rate? Well, when you look at how many blacks are under the poverty level, and when you look at what the poverty line is, $12,700 for an individual, that's far below what it takes to live in this world. So actually the poverty line is far lower than it should be, because there's a bunch of people living above the actual set line of poverty that can't afford to pay their bills, can't afford to pay their rent, can't afford to keep the kids fed, and yet they're not considered poor, but they are lacking. So we need to understand that as well. We need to stop allowing people who don't have our interests at hand to define the environment that we live in. We need to be aware of it. We need to be under the understanding until we can create something of our own, until we can create the flow of information and data that flows into the minds of our children, until we are in control of that. As long as we're sending our kids to school and expecting them to educate our children, they are being bombarded with Eurocentric ideas and concepts and philosophies and paradigms that do not serve us. That's why you're constantly, even when you see it and you say, okay, man, well, a lot of blacks are successful. What are blacks doing? Blacks are subscribing to ideas and behaviors and practices that don't serve us as a whole. What do I mean? Look around you. Consumer-minded. Consumer-minded. I can't say it any other way. Consumer-minded. Everything is about looking good instead of being good. It's about proving you've arrived instead of actually arriving. It's about showing everybody that you fit in instead of creating your own space. There is definitely something that has to change about that. I just wanted to drop that on you. I hope that everything goes well for you the rest of the day. I'm about to get ready to make a stop for the household, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. You guys have an unbelievable day. Don't forget to show love and show support for the work we do at the Black Voice, the Odyssey Project, Black Men Lead, and so many other programs. Show some love and go to that description box, click that link, or send money to the Odyssey Project's Cash App account. Show love. I'm out of here. You guys have a great day.